To where credit is due.
All right. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you are watching this Facebook Live. This is the voice and the face of Dr. Tolu Olabintan, CEO and co-founder of Livingspring Family Medical Center here in the awesome city of Mansfield, Texas, where we believe in helping our patients live long and well because we believe the quality of life is just as important as the quantity of life. I have to tell you, I'm really excited about today's live. I have the one and the only Dami Ogunsaya. She's a client of mine and she's agreed to come on here and talk with me about tips to thriving as a woman with many hats. Ms. Dami, thank you so much for coming. How are you
Thank you for
doing
having
today?
me. I am doing great. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to give a little bit of an intro as to who you are, and then we'll go ahead and ask the questions. For those of you who are watching, please, if you're watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching a replay, hashtag replay. And you know what? I have one more favor to ask. If you can drop, like, what is your number one aha moment you had doing this live at the end of the live? I'd appreciate it. It gives us feedback as to what you're getting from these Facebook lives. All right, so back to the introduction. Ms. Dami Ogunsaya she's an accountant. She's a blogger. I read her blogs. I love what she does. And she's a master negotiator. She's Nigerian American and she describes herself as an eternal optimist. I love it. With a passion to help women believe that nothing is unachievable with the help of God. This firm belief is from her upbringing because she's growing up. She and her siblings were encouraged by her mother to memorize Bible verses. And one of her favorites, yes, was and still is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And this inspired the launch of her blog, www.hitdat.com. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes,
Hit
yes.
that. And it
Mm-hmm.
has become a resource for multiple women from all walks of life. She calls the beautiful city of Grand Prairie, Texas, not too far from here, Mansfield, her home, where she's an accounting manager by day and a wife and mom 24/7. When she doesn't have her head buried in a spreadsheet, you can find her involved in some form of organizing and planning. Ms. Ogunsoya, it is really, really nice having you, and I love what you do. Thank you again for coming. I know you were busy, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited about this life.
Yay! All right. So my first question: why do you do what you do? And it's more. I know you're an accountant, and I don't want us to kind of hone in, but your blog. I love your blog. So
Thank you.
why do you do that? Why?
I'm very passionate about helping women. I am a woman, and women hold such a special place in my heart. And we women are very guilty of doing things for everybody and leaving ourselves behind. So I want to serve as a reminder for women that you can fill your cup first. That way you can fill the cup of others. That is why I do what I do.
So you have to fill yourself up. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you
No.
fill yourself up so you can pour into others. I love it. And I got to say this. I kind of wanted to share what got us here,
Okay.
right? I remember you come to see me and we had a conversation, and there were so many things that you had done, and then you shared some of the things you were doing, and I was like, oh my goodness, I really want you to come here and show people what's possible. Like you can be busy and you can make yourself a priority, at least put yourself on the list when it comes to your
Mhm.
health, when it comes to what you eat, even as a Nigerian woman.
Yes.
There's no offense, Nigerian women, we just extra.
Yes.
You're just a little extra. And I was so inspired by how far you've come and how you're using your journey also to inspire others. So that leads me to my next question. What got you started on your wellness journey? One of the things you shared is like you had exercised, you've been exercising, you're eating better, you lost weight, you had more energy, and you're still doing the things: mom, wife, accountant, serving in church, blogging. So what got you started? What was it that got you started on, you know what, I got to make my health a priority? What got you started?
It started back in 2017 after I had my first son. I was on a lunch day with my husband and he took a picture of us. And then he showed us the picture and I didn't like what I saw.
Mm,
I didn't like it. So immediately I got back to my office, I went to go look for gyms close to our house. And I found one, and I'm still going to that fitness studio till today. At first, it was for weight loss, but over
Mm,
time, it became more than that. It became me trying to be the better version of myself, to be healthy, to be strong for my kids. I have two boys. I have to keep up with these boys. So the older one weighs 60 pounds, the little one 30. So if I carry two of them, that's 90 pounds, and they want to jump on mommy. So things like this just fuels me and makes me want to do better for myself and my health. Because the best thing I can do for them is to be healthy and strong. So that
mm.
was the story behind how I started on my fitness journey, my wellness journey.
Mm. So I like how you emphasize your why. For those of you who are watching, please don't tune off because sometimes it seems like, well, good for you. You must have everything, working. So that's why you can find time to do this. You had a why. One, initially it was you didn't like the way you looked, but then it was you wanted to feel better. You wanted to have more energy. You want to be around to enjoy the works of your hands. You want to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And it takes a healthy body to enjoy all the money you're saving, all the things you're working towards. And so your why were your kids and
Yeah.
you feeling better and also maintaining a healthy weight. And so you did that. Awesome. Awesome. So my next question is this. You're busy. How do you make time for healthy habits? Like where, you have people who say, I don't have time. Good for you. You may have help, you may have, but I don't have time. What would you say to that? How do you make time?
The first thing I'll say is nobody has time. You have to make time. And like I always tell people, is that everything cannot be important. It might appear as though they are, but they are not important. Number one thing you have to do is make yourself a priority. Number two is have your non negotiable. For me, I have to work at least 4 to 5 times a week. Not all the time, but sometimes things can happen that I might not be able to make it, but I still try to get to my workout. One of the things that I do is I pack my gym bag on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I go to the office. That way, when I'm coming from work, I just go straight to the gym. I don't come home first. I go to the gym and then I come back home. So number one thing you have to do is make yourself a priority, your non-negotiables, and also try and build a community around you. If you can afford it, pay for help. If you cannot, look for mom groups, family members, where you can interchange services like help with one another. That way, no matter how busy you are, even if you're working in an office, you have an hour lunch break. Go for a walk around your office building. And you don't have to be in a physical gym to start working out or to have a healthy lifestyle. If you need to start a little bit and then work your way up from there. Even if it's as simple as eating healthy, start incorporating fruits and veggies into your diet little ways, and then you can work from there.
You said a lot, and I want to kind of piecemeal what you said. Number one, the mindset. This was so liberating for me as well. I cannot have time for everything. So I want that to resonate with you. And I'm not saying here abscond your responsibilities. There will always be something to do. You cannot have time for everything. We've got to prioritize. And that means what are things that are non negotiable? What are things that, of course, you got to take care of the house, you got to take care of a family, and even taking care of the house, that can be negotiable.
Yes, it
Get
depends
something to
on
do
time.
it or take your glasses off so you don't see the stuff. Or, once a week, you can help, so you got to know your non negotiables and then asking for help. Sometimes we feel like if we're not the ones suffering and we're not the ones doing everything, we're not a good mom, we're not a good wife. Um, you're going to say something. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let me piggyback off that. I think we as women, let me speak for my generation, like what we've seen from people that are ahead of us is that you have to slave to earn that title.
Hmm.
But the truth is, you don't have to. And your self worth is not what you do or how you're there for the people in your life. You have to take care of yourself. If you're not here, you can't give your best to them. Sometimes if the person in the sink, let it be in the sink. It's okay. Nobody's going to die. Sometimes if you pick up, the toys around the house, you can't keep picking up all day. I mean, all throughout the day. Sometimes leave it there, and then you have your day. You clean it and then you go. For me, I like to arrange my fridge. So I do that every Sunday. But whatever happens after that,
Mm,
it's
mm,
out of my hands. So that's how I do things like that. That way I'm not slaving trying to keep the house clean 24/7.
mm, mm. And one of the things that's coming to mind is sometimes there's the oh, how will I look if my house is a certain way? And I'll be honest with you, I've struggled with that before. Before, long time ago, I couldn't sleep if there were dishes in my sink. But now I can stay 2 days because the kids are fed and I exercised and hubby's happy. Like we good. It's okay. So you guys who are listening, ladies who are listening, please hear us out. We're not saying leave the house in shambles. We're saying something has to give. Things that are more important, let's put them more important so we don't burn out and so that we don't get overwhelmed and then we snap at the people we love. We stop, we cranky and all that good stuff. Now, my next question is for you. Growing up as a Nigerian, our food is an expression of who we are.
It's delicious.
It's full of life. It's my goodness. It's heaven on
On
earth.
the plate.
But how do you maintain a healthy eating lifestyle as a Nigerian? And I'm asking this question because a lot of our foods are not the best. They're delicious. I will not argue that, but not so. How talk to me. Talk to our viewers.
So in the past, when I started my healthy journey, I stayed away from Nigerian food for the most part and just eat it occasionally. But one of the best decisions I made for myself last year was to work with a nutrition coach. And the good thing is she's Nigerian, so she understands the struggle. So what she did was she taught me how to like cook our food healthier. And also she was able to help me like calculate my macros. That way I'm meeting my carbs, protein, fat, and I'm not going over on the fat because it's easy to just go, happy. And then the next day, like, oh, my pant is feeling a little snug. And one thing I would say is this that working with us really, really helped me. Now I eat everything, but of course I don't go overboard. And education is very important. That's one thing she teaches us, like she educates on the food, why this is this, why we cannot just cook with 10,000 gallons of oil and just keep on frying and all that. So that has really been the game changer for me, working with a nutrition coach.
Awesome. And the last time I saw you, you lost weight. You're looking great.
Thank you.
And one of the thing I would say to those who are watching is you're Nigerian, you're Indian, whatever culture you're from, find a community. So a support system, a nutritionist that understands your foods. I've had sometimes, patients who would say, they don't understand my food and they're not willing to kind of expound more on the different foods they're eating. So it's almost like the advice is falling on deaf ears. So finding a nutritionist that understands your food is a very important thing to do. Now, the next thing I was going to ask you is for this someone who is watching who is saying, so you're telling me that our foods are not the healthiest. We eat vegetables, right? Eforiro. We eat okra soup. Those are vegetables. In your conversation with a nutritionist, what has been the feedback about those kind of veggies?
Um, the feedback has always been the veggies are good, is how we cook them and what we add to them. Because you can cook your okra soup without using a ton of oil and it will still taste really good. Because we've been taught that you have to like douse the furrow with so much oil that you see it floating to one side. Even if you cook, mindfulness is very important. And also be picky about what you want to eat. If you really want something, you don't just eat just because that's where we fall the trap. Oh, you're at a party, or they have this food, then you load your plate up. If you're being honest with yourself, you're not going to finish it.
Hmm.
And then you tend to, waste the food and that. But one thing that she has really taught us is like being mindful about how we cook and what we put in our bodies as Nigerians as well.
Awesome, awesome. And I definitely recommend fresh. I've had, to tell patients sometimes when you're cooking the vegetable and you add it to the egusi, turn it off. Let the steam cook so it's not overcooked. And sometimes we don't have to squeeze all the greens, add the greenness out of the F4. It's the nutrients,
Uh-huh.
and eating fresh fruits and vegetables. outside of the soups are also very, very important. All right. This is good. This is good. Thank you. Next question. What is the role of a support system in maintaining a healthy lifestyle? You addressed that earlier, but how important is it to have a support system? And maybe you can elaborate on how you've built one for yourself. Because someone may be watching, like, good for you. Um, I don't have a lot. Like, how do you go about your, like, why is a support system important? Number one, number two, how do you go about building one?
I would say you can never overemphasize the need of a support system. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to support a mother. That is the partner that's kind of like on the back burner. But number one is very important. And how do you go about creating a support system? You need to look for like-minded people. If you have family living around you, that's one. And also communicate, ask for help. Don't just assume they know what you're going through. If you need help, ask for it. And if you live in the city where you're by yourself, you don't have family or friends, if you're part of a church community, go to that, and also pray for the discernment of spirit, the Holy Spirit to direct you to the right people that should be in your life. That way it saves you from all the dramas. Because you might be going somewhere to get help and then something else happens. So that's how I would say try to build a support system.
Awesome, awesome. And I would also encourage you to, even with your health journey, talk to your doctors about what the challenges are. The truth is, as physicians, we're supposed to partner with you, right? So, what are the issues? What are the hindrances? What are the difficulties to doing the things that you know that is good for your health? And how can we empower you or link you up to people who can be supportive of you? A nutritionist, a fitness coach, online free resources that can actually help you. I'm very thankful that I got to speak to you about the nutritionist, and she's going to be coming to speak with us next week, actually. And we'll be talking about practical ways to kind of adjust our foods to make it healthier for ourselves and still tasty.
Mhm.
So it's very important. Support systems. Ask for what you need. Sometimes you have to build your own support systems over time. I can't tell you the importance of having, even if it's two families, two women come together, bring their kids. At least the kids can entertain each other. Of course, they bicker and stuff like that. But even just talking about, being a mom is in itself relaxing. So please don't isolate yourself. Church groups, like you mentioned, are a good resource as well. Now, this has been very, very good. I'm hoping those who are watching will share with another woman who could find or who could use this encouragement. Now, Dami, people are asking this blog she's talking about. What is it again? How can I connect? If people are wondering how they can connect with you, Dami, where can people find you?
They can find me at www.hicdat.com, and that is HICDAT. And also on the website, I have a list of resources that can help women. So, like a doctor, a nutritionist, that way, it's like one stop, you can find what you need to live a wholesome life. And I'm also on Instagram at HICDAT, and then on Facebook at How I Can Do All Things.
Awesome. All right. Could you explain the hick that? I need you to explain it. Go ahead.
Okay, that stands for How I Can Do All Things. That's the name of my blog. And it's stemmed from my favorite Bible verse, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So everything that I do is through the strength that I get from Christ, and it's available to every woman that asks for it. And
That's right.
God gives very freely.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
Um,
for having me.
oh, my pleasure. And we'll do this. We'll do this again, maybe in a couple of months. So I put you on the spot. I've asked you. So you know, no
I
pressure.
like that.
No pressure. No pressure. Now, thank you all for watching. Those of you who are watching, I apologize. I don't know who's watching. I do see a few comments here, though. Toyosi, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate the feedback. Stekeni, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate the feedback as well. Of course, share this. Sharing is caring. And if you or anyone you know is looking for an awesome, a passionate, and a thorough family physician who will have conversations to help you live long and well, I am she. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you so much, Dami. Thank God
Thank
bless you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.